that. Hello, it's a great Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us for News 360. It's live from our studios right here in Accra. And my name is Roland Walker.
I am Aisha Yakubu. A look at our headlines this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil, Deluxy Acrylic Paint, and Apa Foods.
MP for Tempani and a Deputy Attorney General Joseph Dindiok Pemka says military invasion during the chaos in Parliament was needful.
I also tell you disinfection of schools continuing ahead of reopening.
Also coming up, Paramount Chief of Teflet, traditional area, Togbi Nakakpa Dubazan, with the 8th, says former President Rawlings would be buried close to his residence.
On the foreign front, Boeing 737 passenger plane carrying some 62 people believed to have crashed into the sea shortly after taking off from Indonesia's capital of Jakarta.
Stay with us here on News 360 for the details of these stories and many others, including sports and entertainment. Remember, we're live on DSTV, channel 279. On Facebook, we're live on TV3 Ghana.
Now for the details. In our first story, the Member of Parliament for Timpani and a Deputy Attorney General, Joseph Dindiok Penka, I have to say he's a former member, says the military invasion during the chaos in Parliament was needful. According to him, the military exhibited professionalism when they entered the chamber to reduce the tension.
I want to say that Yapong knows very well, and you know that for you to be able to establish crime, there must have been intent. So by the conduct of the military, for you to say that it amounted to coup or attempted coup and etc., then you should establish intent on their part, whether by their conduct they intended to cause coup or attempt coup and etc. And I think that if you put it to that test, it will fail. Why? Because after some time, they withdrew. So it means that they came in with one purpose, to maintain order. But remember that the action of the parliamentarians itself was spontaneous. It wasn't something that took a longer period and started. No, it was spontaneous. And you could see the kicking and the shoving and whatever was going on. My brother Sam George has said that Parliament is a master of its own rules. But I don't think that we should be masters of violence and mayhem. That's not it. We should delink the two. So the military may have come in inappropriately. But what invited it? We should not wash that under the carpet. Otherwise, we will get it wrong.
Also, Member of Parliament for Ningo Prampram Samuel Nate George has accused Defence Minister and MP for Bimbilla Dominic Nitiwo of being the brain behind the military invasion into the chamber when chaos occurred during the election of a new Speaker for the 8th Parliament. He spoke on TV3's Key Point earlier today.
Whilst we were in the House, the former Minister for Defence, Dominic Nitiwo, kept on telling us that if we did not behave ourselves, he was going to bring in the military. And we kept telling him he had no power to do so. Now let me state on authority that Mr. Dominic Nitiwo, former Defence Minister, Mr. Ambrose Derry, former Interior Minister, were the two people who stepped out of the chamber, went into the lobby of Parliament around the coffee shop area and called Colonel Joseph Malik Punamani. The marshal actually did not want the military in the chamber. Let me put that on record.
But would you say the marshals were able to deal with this? Because we watching on TV
throughout
saw total chaos.
Abner, every time there was chaos, for want of a better phrase, borrowing your word. It was resolved. You see, and it was resolved by the Marshal's unit. Look, what simply should have happened was that the government side, that makes you comfortable, the government side.
Which one is that?
The minority, MPP, James and his people, should not have come into the chamber that day with an entitlement mentality that they were in government, they were going to do this, this is how they wanted things to go. We came in there with one mentality as defenders of the Constitution of this Republic.
Also on the show, a private legal practitioner, Yao Pong, said, in as much as the chaos that occurred during the election of a Speaker for the 8th Parliament is condemnable, the public must also focus on the way lawmakers were able to resolve the issue. He also spoke on the program.
I think that sometimes, well, I won't take it away from people, but I think we allow our excesses and errors to prevail over all the good things and the excellent, virtuous achievements. I mean, these things happened. Everybody would have wished that it didn't. It did, but why are we not highlighting the end? The perfect, I would say, exhibition of statesmanship and patriotism by the same members of Parliament. I mean, look at the way, at the end of the day, the choice of all the others, which could have also gone through some acrimonious process, was just settled in a very cordial manner, and we ended up being able to beat the injunction, constitutional injunction, to ensure that members of Parliament were sworn in at least by midnight, and the president on the last day of his term, which is 7. If these had not been done, can you imagine the lacuna or the vacuum we would have had? We would have no members of Parliament, therefore no Parliament, and we would have had no executive, and therefore no president.
Meanwhile, a divisional chief of Nungwa, Ni Bochelai II, has appealed to the NDC and NPP to consider dialogue over differences in order to secure Ghana's peace. According to the traditional ruler and businessman, the scars of civil war in Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire must be a constant reminder for all to seek compromise in political disputes.
At least 7 persons have lost their lives in the 2020 general elections. Dozens of others were maimed over disagreements during political activities. In the estimation of the Nungwan Divisional Chief and CEO of Liberty Industries Ventures, Ni Bochelai II, the affected persons suffered largely due to political parochial interests.
We need peace in Ghana, no matter the political party in power. Without peace, there will be no development.
Ni Bochelai II called on political leaders, especially the NDC and the MPP, to always be mindful of the bitter experiences of war in Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire.
The responsibility lies with us as citizens to protect the peace we have. The political war in Liberia and neighboring Ivory Coast must serve as deterrents to us.
He further called on all Ghanaians, especially followers of the 2 major political parties, to accept the outcome of the election petition in the interest of peace.
The discourse about the happenings of last year's elections must cease while we wait for the Supreme Court verdict on the petition brought before it. I am imploring all to accept the verdict.
Ni Bochelai II expressed these concerns on the sideline of an end-of-year get-together with staff of Liberty Industries Ventures from Ghana and Togo at Nungwa.
Hard work never kills, but it pays. So in your own small corner where you are, make sure that you work hard. I mean, even if nobody sees you, God in heaven sees you. And one day you'll be rewarded.
A side attraction on the night was a performance by reggae dancehall king Stoneboy.
Let's take you up north, where the opposition National Democratic Congress in the Savannah region has staged yet another demonstration in Damango to protest the 2020 presidential result as declared by the Electoral Commission Chair, Jane Mensah. Addressing the media after the protest, the first vice chairman of the NDC, Chief Sofo Azoka, cautioned the IGP to focus on protecting citizens from armed robbers on highways other than involving himself in politics.
Just a day after the inauguration of President Akufo-Addo for a second term in office, the NDC in the Savannah region has staged a second demonstration since the declaration of the results on December 9. Supporters thronged the principal streets of Damongo, wielding placards amidst burning of lorry ties. Addressing party supporters and the media after the protest, the first vice chairman of the party, Chief Sofo Asoka, alleged the IGP, James Opon-Buanu, is more of a politician than a police chief.
If this get together, IGP can produce 6,000 officers. And I'm asking IGP that, what about our roads, our highways? Armed robbers are killing our mothers and our fathers. How did he not produce that security men on the road? Our market women are suffering, anything armed robbing. And just get together, you produce 6,000 security men. So I'm asking IGP to come out and explain to Ghanaians.
He emphasized former President Mahama was duly elected by Ghanaians and believes the court will vindicate him.
Ghanaians spoke that they want good leadership. Ghanaians, come out in your numbers and tell the whole world that you need John Dramani Mahama to lead your country. Fire! To burn you! Fire! To burn you!
And now the paramount chief of Tefle, traditional area in the South Tone district of the Volta region, Togbi Nakapo Dubazan VIII, wants former President Rawlings buried close to his residence. Now the chief claimed the former president confided in him to be buried on an island close to his house in Tefle. He spoke exclusively to our reporter, Nana Kweku Ejia.
Togbi Nakapo Dugbaza VIII, who claimed had known former President Rawlings since the early 70s, even assisted him in acquiring the land for his residence, first eulogized the former military leader.
One thing I liked about the man was that before you go to him, be prepared. Because when you tell him something, he's going to ask you questions. And a reasonable man, if you are not careful, he will just disgrace you through questioning. Yeah, so he was an astute human being, shrouded with humility, understanding, and wisdom.
Togbi Dugbaza pushed for the former president to be buried in Tefle, adding the request was made by Rawlings himself.
I am advocating for the late ex-president to be interred on his property here at Tefle. This is a secret I don't want to reveal, but it has come to a time when I have to say it. His father leased a property here from my grandfather. It was a lease where he put up some wooden structures. But when this man came to power, he approached Dr. Glover, Bernard Glover, to see me so that he could purchase the place freehold. So they came to me and I accepted, and I signed his indenture. Now, in the Ebe land, we inherit paternally, not maternally. So one day I was with him, that was in 2012, I've forgotten, I'm not very good in dates. He mentioned to me categorically that he would like to be buried on the island. And I told him no. I dissuaded him. I said, no, Your Excellency, you know, when the spillway of the dam is opened, the water table might rise, so that it's going to disturb your remains. So it wasn't good enough. But I never suggested to him whether he could be buried in any part, because he has a land there, big land. I never suggested that. So he said, well, I am not very straight about that. You know how he talks. So the property there belongs to him. And if he's interred on that property, just by the riverside. As I knew him, he loves water. He loves rivers. If he could be interred over there, I'll be very grateful. Very, very, very grateful. And I have written a letter to the funeral planning committee. They have promised calling me to come and defend. I have a few things to add, but I can't add it here because they are confidential. And Anglon side also, I will be going there to defend my proposal. So Rawlings, I would love him to be interred in Tefla.
Most residents say his demise will affect their daily lives as he was a pillar of support.
We do know schools will be reopening from January 15, and also in a bid to create an environment devoid of COVID-19, the Ministry of Education has started fumigating all tertiary institutions in the Western region.
The institutions benefiting from the exercise are Takoradi Technical University, KNUST, GIMPA, Telecom University, Valley View University, among others. The first port of call was the Takoradi Technical University, where various offices, lecture halls, and the surroundings were fumigated. The General Manager of Zoomlion Western Region, Alhaji Abdallah, said they are committed to creating a serene environment for learning.
The intention is to ensure that as the students come in, they move into a very serene environment. Intermittently, this exercise will be carried out to ensure that the facilities are regularly disinfected so that people using these facilities will not contract COVID-19. Having disinfected these facilities, we still want to encourage that people should continue the COVID protocol.
The Deputy Registrar of Takoradi Technical University, Kenneth Boating, says they have expanded infrastructure to contain students.
As the students are trooping in, we ensure that they put on their nose mask, they wash their hands and they dry it up before they move to classrooms and their halls. The halls too, we have placed vertical buckets and all the necessary items that they need to wash their hands, and strategic places for the classrooms too. So we try to employ upon them to adhere to the protocols so that all of us will be safe on campus. We have 3 campuses, so we have enough classrooms for the students.
Authorities said there would be routine fumigation exercises across all institutions.
And in the northern region, the Regional Health Directorate has asked schools to cooperate with authorities as they begin disinfection exercises ahead of schools reopening on January 15. Now, speaking to the media after disinfecting the University of Development Studies in Tamale, officials appealed to heads of states or schools to play a leading role in the exercise.
About 80 tertiary institutions are expected to be disinfected in the region. They are all campuses of University for Development Studies, Tamale Technical University, Nyankbala Campus, Tamale College of Education, Bagabaga College of Education, and Pond Tamale College and Damango Agriculture. The nationwide mass disinfection exercise in schools is in line with President Akufo-Addo's directive for all educational institutions to be disinfected and fumigated before reopening. Northern Regional Manager of Zoomlion, Peter Dawuni, was worried about a lack of cooperation by some of the heads of schools.
As service provider, we require the support of the various institutions, particularly the headmasters and the directors of education. As we know, with the basic schools, most of the teachers are still home. And so we can't just get into a campus or a school to disinfect when the school authorities are not there.
The exercise will be undertaken in 64 senior high schools and 600 basic schools. The Ministries of Education and Sanitation and Water Resources are spearheading the exercise. Peter Dawuni entreated school authorities to enforce all COVID protocols. The disinfection and fumigation exercise will end on January 14, 2021. to allow pupils return to school. The Registrar of UDS, Dr. A.B.T. Zakaria, stated that the Board of Directors and staff of the university have put in place all key measures that can help fight COVID-19.
The comprehensive plan generally includes observing COVID protocols and also relating the issue of COVID and how to control COVID to the delivery of lectures in the lecture rooms. We have decided that large numbers of students in the lecture halls will be divided.
He appealed to students to adhere to all the COVID protocols when they are back on campus.
And when schools reopen, many of these students will be studying a lot more mathematics after having been home over the last 9 months. But while it's exciting to some teachers and learners, mathematics, as we all know, well, to some, is also a difficult subject to others. 6 out of 10 students apparently have a dislike for the subject, with many failing it in their final examinations. But there's a bigger question. Is the student to blame for the dislike of the subject? My colleague, Ibrahim Abubakar, has more in the story.
Poor teaching methods and maths anxiety have been cited as contributory factors to some students disliking the subject. To make the teaching and learning of maths easier and exciting, a non-governmental organization, African Science Academy, under the auspices of the Education Directorate, has embarked on a series of professional development training sections for a selected group of senior high school mathematics teachers. Christened the Maths Masterclass, the training is to upgrade the teaching of maths in public and private educational institutions. Levina Tay is the coordinator of the African Science Academy Masterclass.
Most students do not like mathematics. They have a lot of fear for mathematics. But we realize that sometimes it has to do with how the teachers deliver the topics. And so if we are able to help the teachers get the right methodology and pedagogy, the right ways to relate the things that they are teaching in their mathematics to real life problems, the students will be able to appreciate this and do well in mathematics.
Some math teachers lauded the training.
It will help us in bringing a lot of technology into our teaching in the classroom, and also the various ways of assessing our students to get to know their feedback.
Activities and discussions at the event centered on using technology in the math class, measurement and geometry, assessment and inclusivity, and practical math tips.
In health this evening, Director General of the Ghana Health Service has attributed the absence of new cholera cases in the country to the adherence of good sanitary practices observed during the COVID era. He said other ailments posed threats. During the same time, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji was speaking to the media at a ceremony to receive some personal protective equipment from World Vision Ghana.
Ghana recorded its worst cholera cases in 2014. 8 out of the then 10 regions were affected, as a total of 28,975 cases with 243 deaths were recorded by the Ghana Health Service. 618 was recorded in 2015 and 150 in 2016. No case was, however, booked in 2020. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, indicated the country's success towards the achievement of a zero cholera case last year is attributed to good hygiene practices engendered by the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. He maintained the health sector had to fight other diseases alongside the coronavirus.
2020, we did not record any case of cholera. We have also recorded almost a third reduction in all diarrheal disease among children and generally in diarrheal diseases, which means that this is a practice that has benefit and we need to continue enforcing and improving our hygiene.
On the reopening of schools, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji said parents, teachers and guardians should strive to ensure the safety of their wards, especially kindergarten. Meanwhile, World Vision Ghana has supported the Ghana Health Service and 10 health care facilities under the Christian Health Association of Ghana in the Greater Accra region with some personal protective items worth 740,000 cedis. Board Chair of World Vision, Ifwa Gati, said supporting government to eliminate the virus is a key priority.
With new cases of COVID-19 increasing daily, World Vision experts envisage that coronavirus will have a huge impact on the poorest and most vulnerable, thus posing a major risk to the efforts and progress made to fight poverty and hunger globally. World Vision International is urging governments to support a united global effort to protect the most vulnerable, especially children.
She assured of constant support to build capacities of health workers in the area of infectious disease control.
Well, we have to go for a break, Aisha.
Some good news on cholera. But when we return, we have more news for you right here on News 360. Please stay with us.
I'm a proud old student of Agri Memorial Senior High School. My school needed a facelift, and Deluxe acrylic paint came in
and did their magic. And wow, the school looks
the touch is simply classic.
The school environment is now conducive for us all to teach and learn.
After the painting, our colors are just phenomenal.
Exquisite, a conducive place to study now.
Proud to be an Amazonian.
You like the acrylic paint, you can't contest.
Smiles are one of the most important things we have. Globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent with maximum cavity protection repairs tiny holes before they become cavities. Because every smile matters.
Fly 2-in-1 floor cleaner and a best sew house. Ewa Wadina Ekum na Esato Pampam one kitwa where we are from. Emma from the wine na enjoy feeling the Caribbean. Inner's Fly floor cleaner no. Ninka Gumwa Hod one na wope bambo mapa every one kitwa hodia. J Inner's Fly Africa D. Inner's Flyer na no insect, no stress.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful. Cleansoft, my favorite. Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Mama!
Meow.
I can't stand it!
Just a moment. And now power, huh?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, Jack Macron, no more. It's good you cannot guess there. Harry, you contumre. What up, tomato sauce, I want to baby. And a pasadine for box with salad here. Hey, you stew. And a jollofa. Never to the one that don't know it though. Or to that. And the ball of ya, or made to bunny a doa. Joanna Passway sauce, check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Let's all a salad in the mom. Oh, she and a patuna. We can puffle. Let's all a salad in the mom. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box with so see oats, na cremitino. Yo, and a spaghetti. Talia Papa B. Mansunin Sijadu Re. Nafa and a spaghetti no gum. Who and a pataliano are you ready? For what? On you with you. So I am no so good.
Dem de Ruboy FDA Ashishum Ajatu.
TV3 in collaboration with 3FM presents the Return to School Fair. From books to bags to clothes to food to face masks to uniforms to shoes, come buy everything your wants will need for school at truly amazing prices. There will be products for pupils and students from preschool to university. Venue, Junction Mall. Date, Thursday 14th to Sunday 17th January 2021. For all inquiries to participate as a vendor, call or WhatsApp on 0592 764 279 or 0508 678 483.
Something that plagues all of us. Like in a scar, stretch marks could remain on the skin, but treatment may make them less noticeable and also help alleviate the itch. For dermatologist Dr. Lorraine Lai, people who have these marks on their skins should not feel ashamed since it often fades away with time. We'll bring you a report by Leonora Ano.
Stretch marks occur when there is a rapid stretching of the skin, which results in breaks in the tissue structure of and peeling of the upper layer. It often appears on the skin of people who have engaged in rigorous bodybuilding activities and also after getting infected with certain diseases. Here in Ghana, the simplest and easiest way to get stretch marks is through rapid weight gain, which coerces the body to stretch. Pregnant women also experience this in their third trimester, covering especially their breast and the lower part of their abdomen. Genetic factors like cortisone, a hormone produced by the adrenal glands, weakens elastic fibers in the skin.
There's actually a little bit of a hormonal component to it. Certain diseases such as Cushing's disease, diabetes, polycystic ovarian syndrome, diseases that increase or change the corticosteroid levels in your body tend to give you stretch marks. So with Cushing's you have adrenal issues and cortisol goes up.
Dr. Lauren Lai advocated homemade recipes for individuals rather than using harsh products which may end up erupting layers of the skin.
Well, I'd never advise bleaching stretch marks because it actually can make it worse. It actually usually will make it worse. There are some home remedies such as using lime juice, oatmeal paste, avocado paste, olive oil, almond oil, potatoes. They all contain an ingredient which supposedly helps to reduce the stretch marks. And some people see some results. Usually not complete results, but stretch marks fade over time.
She also advised pregnant women to start massaging their bellies with moisturizing creams early enough in their pregnancies to treat it before it becomes too old.
It's very natural to develop stretch marks after carrying a baby for 9 months. The body changes with increase in body size, especially the abdomen, the breasts. So men should be more understanding. However, for cosmetic reasons, if you'd like to see less of the stretch marks, it's good to for the pregnant woman to sort of massage her skin with the moisturizing creams early in the pregnancy rather than before she develops the stretch marks.
Stretch marks fade over time, but when it gets too excessive, an individual must visit the hospital for treatment.
An insightful report there by Leonora Ano. Away from the issue of stretch marks, about 60 former illegal chainsaw operators are now planting trees to complement government afforestation drive. The operators told TV3 they regret playing a role in the depletion of the country's forest reserves. Here's a report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
The incessant felling of trees by chainsaw operators has reduced significantly in forest reserves within Ghana. Through a series of education and campaigns by civil society organizations and the Forestry Commission on the negative impact of chainsaw operation, about 60 operators of Obogu in the Asante Achem South District of Ashanti region have stopped the illegal activity. The reformed illegal chainsaw operators are engaged in the afforestation of the degraded Dom Forest Reserve under the Joaso Forest District. Others are also into farming and artisanal mining as alternative livelihood options. Since 2010, about 63,000 different species of trees have been planted on 97.5 degraded portion of the Dom Forest. Isaac Asaritaria is one of the reformed chainsaw operators and manages the plantation.
We were chainsaw members, but we saw that what we are doing is very bad. But as time goes on, our forest area will become like a northern sector. So we decided to plant the trees that we have been felling it.
Tree species such as mahogany, teak, ofram, and cedella have been planted on this plantation. The group of reformed chainsaw operators is targeting to plant 20,000 more trees by the end of 2021.
When I enter to our plantation, I became happy that, oh, Ghana is blessed. Our problem in Ghana on timber is plantation. I feel some joy in my heart, although I have lost my business and so forth and so on, because we need nature to live.
Under the EU Chainsaw Project, Tropenbos International Ghana, a non-governmental organization on the sustainable forest management, worked with the illegal chainsaw operators to halt the practice. Boache Chumasi Ankra is the project coordinator at Tropenbos, Ghana.
They don't pay taxes, they don't pay stampage fee and others. But then there is also another side that Forestry Commission people will constantly be pursuing them because they are illegal people. They are arrested for after spending so much on fuel, on loading boys and all that. You could be arrested on the way and you lose everything.
Goal 13 of the Sustainable Development Goals calls on countries to incorporate climate protection measures in their national policies and assist each other in responding to the challenges at hand. This calls for greening the environment by planting more trees to absorb carbon dioxide.
And the Forestry Commission has also interdicted the Forest Service Division's Executive Director, Opon Sasu, for his alleged involvement in some illegal lumbering deals. Opon Sasu was said to be the main man behind smuggled illegal lumber with a street value of some 400,000 Ghana cedis, as intercepted by the Ochimine Mining Protection Unit.
We intercepted this truck at night. The driver told us he loaded the wood from Sankore in the western region. During interrogation, he admitted not having any permit covering the consignment. This is contrary to the Forestry Commission laws, so we impounded it. We took the truck to Ochehene, waiting for him to produce the permit on the lumber.
The Ochimine Mining Protection Unit on January 4 impounded a truck loaded with unlicensed lumber with a street value of 400,000 cedis at Achim in Sutam in the eastern region. The suspects mentioned the executive director of the Forestry Services Division at the Forestry Commission, Opon Sasu, as the source and owner of their activities.
The driver mentioned a number of high-placed officials, including Opon Sasu, as those who gave them the green light. Ochehene then directed that unless Opon Sasu produced written authorization approval, the truck and the consignment must not be released under any condition.
The truckload of milled wood, which originated from Sankore in the western region, passed through all the major Forestry Commission checkpoints without any hindrance. They were, however, intercepted at Achim in Sutem by the Ochimine Mining Protection Unit during a routine monitoring operation.
Opon Sasu confirmed the claim by the driver, adding that the consignment belonged to disabled relative of his. The laws of this country bar the transportation of wood products without the requisite covering documents. It continued to beat our imagination why the commission decided to close down the checkpoints in the Accra-Kumasi highway.
Subsequently, the Ochehene Osagyefo Amoatio for Repenning directed the Forestry Services Division's Executive Director, Opon Sasu, to produce documents covering the wood before it would be released. Before these operations, the Ochimine Mining Protection Unit had impounded 5 trucks loaded with illegal wood.
We need to engage the stakeholders, especially the chiefs, and we've been doing this very well. Otumfuo advising us on what we should be doing to make sure we protect the forest. Ochehene, he has even a task force, and they've arrested 5 vehicles, 3 a.m. So always we've been engaging these people.
Preliminary assessment of the report by the Forestry Commission led to the Executive Director's interdiction. Opon Sasu, whose name was mentioned by those conveying the intercepted lumber, is to proceed on leave by Monday, January 11, 2021, to pave way for a smooth and unbiased investigation into the case. Per the directive from the Commission, Upon Sasu must hand over the Forest Services Division's administration to the Chief Executive Officer, John Alote. A 3-member committee headed by the Forestry Commission Board Chairman, Brigadier General Joseph Odey, is expected to investigate the matter and report to the Commission on February 1, 2021. They are to determine the ownership of the intercepted lumber, establish the consignment source, and investigate how the truck escaped all checkpoints and show the connection between Upon Sasu and the smugglers. The committee is to offer recommendations to improve operational efficiency and effectiveness at the checkpoints. Since November 2020, the situation has worsened after the Forestry Services Division recalled 8 staff operating checkpoints on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. The Forestry Commission's decision prompted the Ocheman Mining Protection Unit to intensify its monitoring surveillance on illegal lumbering business. Several media investigative reports mentioned some Forestry Commission officials in an illegal road-through trade report last year. Experts say the fight against the abuse of forest resources can only be successful if the Commission rely on current revelation to purge itself and remain committed to the cause by naming and shaming corrupt officials.
Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Colonel Kojo Damwa, has detailed the various processes importers need to go through to be able to import goods under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Speaking at the launch of the Business Forum on the start of the AFCTA trading in Ghana, Commissioner Damwa noted importers who fail to go through the process with the required documentation will be denied access.
Exporters will have to register and secure all the necessary licenses, permits, certificates, and other documents from designated regulatory ministries, departments, and agencies. Then exporters or their agents will have to complete and submit African Continental Free Trade Area exporter registration forms. This will be followed by the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industries action by vetting applications and approving the inspection of the exporters' premises and products. Then we'll have the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and the Ministry of Trade and Industry officials jointly visiting exporters, their premises, to inspect the premises and the product processes. It will then be followed by the same 3 important stakeholders, the Customs Division of GRA, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and Ministry of Trade and Industry officials who will complete a survey report and submit for approval or otherwise. If GRA Customs Division is satisfied and approves of the application, an African Continental Free Trade Area Exporter Code is generated, and this is subject to annual renewal.
Another story is the Social Welfare Department of the Adentan Municipal Assembly is seeking public support in locating the relatives of 3 missing children. Now, the 3, including a Nigerian child, were found loitering in various communities between April 2010 and October 2020.
The Lakeside Police found 7-year-old Kevin Akuno Boateng on Thursday, April 4, 2019, and sent him to the Social Welfare Department of the Adentan Municipal Assembly. Kevin told the police and social workers his parents reside in East Legon, but could not give any further details, including their names. Our efforts to trace the parents of Kevin Akuno Boateng have not yielded any result. Ibrahim Shaibu, on the other hand, was found on July 31, 2019, with bruises all around his body. Ibrahim claimed he had escaped brutalities from his father, whose name he gave as Danjuma, after eating fish reserved for him. Danjuma later contacted the social workers to identify Ibrahim as his son, but he vanished during the preliminary processes to have Ibrahim resettled. The Adentan Divisional Dovsu found 16-year-old Isaac Destiny loitering around the Adentan community On Monday, October 19, he told the police his uncle in Nigeria, Happy Pius, gave him to a woman in Ghana as a domestic servant, but he escaped due to maltreatment from his host. Anyone who knows the relatives of these boys should contact the Adentan Municipal Assembly or the nearest police station.
If you have any information on the relatives of these boys as well, you can bring it here to TV3. Up next is Sports Now with Yao Ofusulabi.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Hello, good evening. Let's do sports news now here on NEWS360. My name is Yao Ofusulabi. Now, Ghana Premier League side Legon Cities recorded their first victory in 8 games after beating Wafa by a lone goal at the Accra Sports Stadium. Coach Abukari Damba was at the stadium and says he believes the team can turn things around if they continue to play with a lot more urgency in the team.
I must say I'm very impressed with what I have seen. It was a very competitive game. Full of passion. We all know how Legon City is struggling, but I could see them play with a little bit more urgency. But they came against a more technical team. To say it the way it must be said, Wafa were the better side in terms of, you know, building up from the back through the midfield into attack. They were a more organized team, but Legon City were very, you know, resilient, and of course they showed that they wanted to win the game. They were hungrier. For that matter, I think it was a well-deserved win.
As Abukari Damba was a former goalkeeper for the Black Stars and now into youth development in football. Now, Isaac Ajenim-Boateng bagged a sensational brace for Mediama SC in a 2-1 win over Aduana Stars to record their first home win of the season. Mediama needed the win badly after drawing their 3 home matches against Accra Great Olympics, Liberty Professionals and Asante Kotoko. Now, despite being touted as one of the huge favourites for the Ghana Premier League crown, Mediama have huffed and puffed since the season began, but the results have not quite shown. Now, they have now recorded just 2 wins in 8 matches and travel to Obuasi to face Ashanti Gold next weekend. Now, the fixtures, Bechem United are set to take on King Faisal tomorrow at 3 p.m. Great Olympics will also face Ashanti Gold. Brekum Chelsea will take on Inter Allies. And then 11 Wonders will face Karela. Dreams FC will take on Ibusua Dwarfs. And Elmina Sharks will also face Accra Hearts of Oak at the Papa Kwesi Ndum Stadium. That game is also at 3 p.m. On Monday, though, Kumasi Asante Kotoko set to face Liberty Professionals also at 3 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now to the German Bundesliga, where Schalke recorded their first Bundesliga win in 31 matches to avoid equal season, had not won a league game since the
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath.
Hello, viewers. I'm feeling very frustrated and bored in Sambu life. I'm very happy. If you don't understand, don't worry, because myself, I don't understand. We'll cross over to our senior reporter for more details.
You know, I'm learning to make a blog. I'm a funny, I just said. Vodafone, I'm a quite. Ultimate Sanesika to Opia, Emily to Opia, Echo all the network. I will check up there with Montezo, Diamond Falcon.
Fifia, Mateo said, don't you put charges, man on me.
See, the excitement for me is that I get to save a lot on Vodafone cards.
Sending money on Vodafone cards to all networks is now free. Send any amount of money as many times as you like to all networks for free. Dial *110# now to send money.
Any amount for Massimo.
The future is exciting. Ready?
TV3, in collaboration with 3FM, presents the Return to School Fair. From books to bags to clothes to food to face masks to uniforms to shoes, come buy everything your wards will need for school at truly amazing prices. There will be products for pupils and students from preschool to university. Venue, Junction Mall. Date, Thursday 14th to Sunday 17th January 2021. For all inquiries to participate as a vendor, call or WhatsApp on 0592 764 279 or 0508 678 483.
Sia Ediana Bakofi Asante Eni, Wojumedi a ye friend of Ghana Akoma, and the Wonsom, on in a day Wuchiame, Ewo Akoma 87.9 FM, Ewo Kumasi, and na on your TV so. Why Kofi Asante?
Me Centuria, I think say be in fear dungo chili and my ejuma war Centuria Jumanim. We sound here chechini.
Na Uborua radio Casafidi Ejumanuno, and then Papoti now betini Akase, wetini aya a song of Boyepa.
I've been able to develop and nurture the program. I'm an abaye number one.
Then the money pabibri no hano epewa semiepa.
I always place my listeners first in whatever I do.
Na tempo na was a man saint you.
TMP say, near wo opesa wotieno. Near wo pesa we ye yama wo mpotemu, ye yama wo my Ghana, you hold the penny for accountable.
Can be for Ghana Kuma and they were going to Frawa Shasi.
Ghana Kuma, a program I pese, your boy my Ghana and Hombine. Ye must say, ye be boania bogana Kuma Hombine. Say ye do mine dear grow, we are doing penny. Now we ye near and fata bo miner, the best teacher in Naka baby. I wish a piano, you will pay me up on no be who say, oh my Ghana, Yafana come in Yagro. Wonsum air, or maymoon someone, yes, if you Juada, who see if Yada, among your seven, and the Yanka science and near Canning Abu. Nayinaya soon, Yaboa, Apega, Argent or mine.
And it is Yakofia Santi Eni, Akoma 87.9, Juada Cosifia, Jumedia Yatuni didn't say Ghana, a chas here a brand new Numa Bapa Sema Edria 9, Ecosino, one some Subasu Memindano Pebia, a brand new Sia Abwa Pem, Ecosi Ano, unknown Ewa Akoma 87.9, and now on your TV so.
TV3, in collaboration with 3FM, presents the Return to School Fair. From books to bags to clothes to food to face masks to uniforms to shoes, come buy everything your wards will need for school at truly amazing prices. There will be products for pupils and students from preschool to university. Venue, Junction Mall. Date, Thursday 14th to Sunday 17th January 2021. For all inquiries to participate as a vendor, call or WhatsApp on 0592 764 279 or 0508 678 483.
In international news this evening, a Boeing 737 passenger plane carrying 62 people is believed to have crashed into the sea shortly after takeoff from Indonesia's capital, Jakarta. The Sriwijaya Air disappeared from radars 4 minutes into its journey to Pontianak. Now, it is thought to have dropped more than 10,000 feet in less than a minute, according to flight tracking website flightradar24.com. Witnesses said they had seen and heard at least one explosion. A number of residents of an island near where the plane disappeared told the BBC they had fought objects they thought were from the plane.
Let's bring you some entertainment.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Food Lover Special Fragrance Rice.
Now, organizers and producers of the most watched kids reality show, TV3, they have announced auditions dates for the 12th edition of Talented Kids. Designed to give kids the platform to showcase their inborn talent, the 2021 auditions will run from January 18 to January 25.
Running for 11 seasons in a row, the most watched kids reality show Talented Kids has bounced back. Designed to give kids the platform to showcase their inborn talents, children between the ages of 6 and 12 will be given the opportunity to perform and be assessed by judges. The audition for the 2021 edition kickstarts from January 18 to 25. The team in charge will stop over in Takrady on 18th to 19th January for the Takrady audition. Kumasi auditions will go down at the premises of Akuma FM on 21st to 22nd January. Finally, we'll host the final audition scheduled to run from January 24 to January 25 at TV3's premises, Kanda. Forms can be downloaded from our website 3news.com or get them at the offices of the station, Kanda. Parents of children with unique talent are advised to grab the opportunity and present the awards. Who takes over from Gabriel Apia, popularly known as Nana AK? Well, it could be your child.
Can't sleep, body burning, so you can mess every. You want to make life the same, you want to make it harder.
And that is Stone Girl there.
Yeah, definitely, with our rendition of Stone Boys tomorrow. But look, I tell you, if you have any of those children and you feel they're talented enough, make sure that they're part of the auditions is from January 18 to 25.
Definitely. That's it for News 360 tonight. There's more news on 3news.com. I am Aisha Yakubu.
I'm Roland Walker. Have a great evening. Bye.
Smiles are one of the most important things we have. Globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent with maximum cavity protection repairs tiny holes before they become cavities. Because every smile matters.